the surah that we listened to today. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about Ibrahim alayhi salam. He says, وَإِذْ قَالَ Ibrahim. And remember when Ibrahim said, رَبِّ جَعَلْ, Master, make هَذَا بَلَدًا آمِنًا. Master, make this city a peaceful city. وَارْزُقْ أَهْلَهُ مِنَ الثَّمَرَاتِ. And provide for its citizens from all different types of fruits. Ibrahim alayhi salam is making a request that has two parts to it. The first one is he's asking for safety for this city. The second one is he's asking for provisions or prosperity. Which city is he talking about, by the way? You can talk now, we're not praying. What city is he talking about, by the way? He's talking about Mecca. And so Ibrahim a.s. and really one of the points of interest in Quran for me is this character Ibrahim a.s. His genius shines in the way he talks and in his actions. Usually when you come across somebody who is, like you said, he's called the genius or he's really intelligent, it's usually shown through his speech or through his actions, one or the other. Not always you get both of them. But Ibrahim a.s. is just a genius. He is thinking, his forward thinking in his du'as and in his actions is beyond his years. It's something that even in modern political science, they say for a city to have stability, it needs two things. It needs safety and it needs provisions. It needs prosperity. Safety meaning your house is safe, the banks are safe, the neighborhood is safe, going to school is safe, the actual school is safe. But if everything is safe and there's no economic growth, there's no way to actually get the fruits, then the city still collapses. And so even today they say you need two things for a city to be stable. Ibrahim a.s. is making dua for both of those things. What are those things again? Safety and prosperity. Look at his forward thinking. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answers this dua of his way at the end of Quran. He answers this dua in Surah Al-Fil when he says, Alam tara kayfa fa'ala rabbuka bi ashabil fil. Haven't you seen how Allah dealt with the people of the elephant? And this is a very well-known story that this guy, Abraha, is coming with armies of elephants, and elephants to Arabs are like tanks. They've never seen elephants before. These elephants are coming, and against all odds, against a few Arabs, Allah protects this city. These armies are coming, and Allah already accepted the dua of Ibrahim, and he said, whoa, whoa, whoa. You can stop right there. And he protected the city against all odds. And nobody expected that. And this dua really wasn't tested for years. The city of Mecca was safe for many years until this army came, and Allah protected the city. So Allah answered the first part of his dua in Surah Al-Fil. Is it the safety one or the prosperity one? Safety. The second part of his dua, وَرْزُقْ أَهْلَهُ مِنَ الثَّمَرَاتِ, and provide for its citizens from all types of fruits. Allah answers this dua in the very next surah. In Surah Al-Quraysh, Allah says, لِإِلَافِ قُرَيْشِ إِلَافِهِمْ رَحْلَةَ الشِّتَاءِ وَالصَّيْفِ. These journeys that the Quraysh are going for with their caravans, they're going in the summer, and they're going into the winter, and they're traveling all over the place, and they're getting fruits from the winter over here, and in the summer they get fruits from over here, and they're traveling all over the place, and nothing's happening to them. This is very strange in the Arab world, especially during the time of the Prophet ﷺ. If there's a caravan going from any tribe, anywhere in Saudi Arabia, they're going to get robbed, people are going to get killed. It's very common, and it's not a big deal. It happens. People are afraid of it, and it always happens, but for some reason, it never happens to Quraysh. And this is why the surah starts with the word li. That's kind of unique in Arabic, to start with a preposition, because everybody's wondering why. Allah says because. He starts with because. To answer the question that's on everybody's mind. What's with all the safety? How are they so secure in getting prosperity and provisions from all over the land in order to prosper? How are they doing that? And really the other tribes, they were scared of Quraysh for two main reasons. Number one, idols. All the Quraysh and all the other tribes, they had all their idols in Mecca. And so if somebody was to mess with somebody from Quraysh, the Quraysh guy can easily say, okay, you know what? I'm going to go back. When I go back home and I go back to the Kaaba and I go back by your idol, yours is the wooden one, right? And he just takes it and breaks it. So they were already scared because they're already the caretakers of their idols, but they were also scared because of the surah right before it. Because they said, man, elephants. God came and stopped these guys from being attacked from elephants. There's no way we can mess with them. So his first part of the dua is answered. The safety from Mecca and the city of Mecca is answered in the first part of Surah Al-Fil, and the exact next surah answers the second part of the dua. Things are going to get a little crazy now as we go along with the surahs. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build a flow between the surah. Because sometimes what happens is we create a disconnect between Quran because things are kind of all over the place and we don't really understand what's happening. It seems we know it's divine and we know it's from Allah, but how come the surahs are in this order? How come Musa's all over the place? It doesn't make any sense. So sometimes we just it's just too much for us, so we just create a distance. And so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create a flow between these ending surahs that we listen to today. Now Ibrahim a.s. back in his dua when Surah Al-Baqarah, he added a condition to his dua. He added a condition. He said, Minhum man amana minhum billahi wal yawmil akhir. He said, my master, make this city safe and give the people from all types of fruit, but only the people who believe in Allah and the last day. He added this condition. Allah responded to Ibrahim and said, no. Even the people who disbelieve, will even give them a little bit. And so the people that are in charge of the Kaaba right now, in charge of the house of Allah, are they from the people that Ibrahim is describing, or from the people Allah is describing? Ibrahim is saying the people that should be flourishing in this city are the people that believe in Allah in the last day. Allah says, no, even the disbelievers will give them a little bit. So currently, at that time, who's in charge of the Kaaba? Is it the people of Ibrahim or the people that Allah is describing? The second group. And so the exact next surah describes the kind of person who's in charge of the Kaaba right now. Allah says, أَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي يُكَذِّبُ بِالدِّينِ فَذَلِكَ الَّذِي يَدْعُ الْيَتِيمَ وَلَا يَحُدُّ عَلَى طَعَامِ الْمِسْكِينِ. Oh my God, have you seen this guy who lies against the religion, pushes the orphan around, and doesn't even speak up, doesn't even encourage anybody to do anything good? Because if they just open their mouth and say, hey, you know what, we should probably do something about this, it's so easy for an Arab to turn around and say, hey, you're not doing anything. So they don't even open their mouth. They don't even say, hey, you know, we should probably do something about this situation. Like, just talk about the situation. They wouldn't even open their mouth. These are the kind of people that are in charge of the Kaaba right now. And then Allah continues in the same surah, that even look at the type of prayer that these people have. Have you ever seen, you know, the type of prayers that the Quraysh had is like, have you ever seen a person, a public figure like a president or a national authority, the way that they pray, the way that they do their worship? They don't really do it necessarily for the act, but it's more of a media stunt, you know, like they're going to the church and they take pictures and it's being broadcasted and you say, oh my God, he's such a nice guy. Even in our Muslim ummah, they're going to like Umrah, they're going to Hajj, it's like the biggest thing in the world. Okay, he's going, doing tawaf in a helicopter or whatever he might be doing, and it's like the biggest thing in the world. They don't do that really, but it's a good idea. But it's the biggest thing in the world. This is the type of worship and the type of prayer that the leaders, the people in charge of the Kaaba, at this current time, this is the kind of prayer that they had. وَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنْ صَلَاتِهِمْ سَاهُونَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ يُرَاءُونَ. They're just doing this show off. These are the kind of people that are in charge of the Kaaba. Ibrahim a.s., his entire life, the reason he built that Kaaba was for people to be sincere, to worship sincerely, and to sacrifice. So these people are praying in the Kaaba, the same masjid that Kaaba, and they're just doing it to show off. And they don't even stop over there. Ibrahim's life is sacrifice. These people, they don't even have an idea of sacrifice. وَيَمْنَعُونَ الْمَعُونَ. They don't even encourage anybody, they wouldn't even give anybody ma'un. Ma'un is like the smallest thing you can give somebody. Ma'un is like if you have like 5 pens in this pocket right here and you're walking in school and your classmate says, oh, you know what, I just ran out of ink in this pen, can you give me a pen? You say, well, I don't have any pens. This is ma'un. You wouldn't even get that one pen up. Or your neighbor knocks on your door and says, hey, do you guys have any salt? You say, whoa, we never heard of salt before, and you just close the door on them. Nobody does that. But this is what they would do. They wouldn't even give up the small stuff. These are the kind of people in charge of the Kaaba. Allah is describing that these people are totally unfit to take care of the house of Allah. So who is of the quality and the characteristic to take care of the house of the Kaaba? Allah answers this in the next surah. He says, Inna a'tainaka al-kawthar. No doubt we have given you. Who's the you? The Prophet sallallahu al-kawthar. Describing to the Prophet ﷺ that you in fact should be the one who's in charge of this Kaaba. And it's interesting because of the words that he says in this next ayah in the same surah. He says, فَصَلِّ لِرَبِّكَ وَانْحَرْ. Prayer and sacrifice. That's the legacy of Ibrahim a.s. Meaning, they're not doing what their father was doing. Ibrahim, you should be doing what your father originally started. You should be continuing that work. And he continues the ayah. He says that maybe these people originally when you were addressing these people, they were your family and they were your friends. But now, now that they're rejecting the religion of Allah and they're continuing in these sins, after all the warning that you gave them gently, now they're your enemy. Inna shani'aka huwa al-abtar. The word shani, indeed that person, for sure it is your enemy who will be disconnected, who will be discontinued. So a minute ago, these people might have been your friends and family, but now the people in this other side of the room, on the other side, the surah right before it, these people, this type of person is officially your enemy. So if somebody is officially your enemy, then they should be addressed like they're your enemy. So Allah starts off the next surah by saying, قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ. He addresses them the way they should be addressed. لا